It was the bitter cold of winter in New York, and Sophie's shift at the cafe had just ended. She was exhausted, every inch of her body aching from the hours of work. As she walked home, she saw a man sitting by a lamppost, hunched over with his face buried in his arms. He was obviously homeless, but there was something oddly captivating about him. His jacket was old, his hair messy, and his shoes worn down, but his posture radiated something more, something dignified. Sophie's heart tugged. In a world where people walked past suffering every day, she couldn't ignore him. She bought a sandwich from a food truck and, without thinking twice, walked over to him. "Sophie, here, I brought you something to eat. It's freezing out here." The man looked up slowly, his eyes a striking blue. They locked with hers, and for a moment, Sophie felt a strange pull, like she was looking at someone she'd known before. He didn't respond immediately, but then, after a long pause, he spoke. "Ethan, you don't have to do this, but thank you." There was something in his voice, an accent, maybe a hint of familiarity. Sophie wasn't sure, but she shrugged it off. They sat together in silence for a while, eating, before he spoke again. "Ethan, I'm not like them. I wasn't always like this." Sophie was taken aback. It was a rare thing for someone to speak so openly, but there was a sincerity in his words. As days went by, she began bringing him food regularly. Each time, their conversations deepened. Ethan revealed he was once the CEO of a tech empire, but his life had spiraled after a betrayal from those he loved and trusted most. "Ethan, my partner, my fiance, they destroyed me. I lost everything. My wealth, my reputation, my family. It all crumbled in an instant." Sophie was moved. She couldn't help but feel a deep empathy for him, but at the same time, there was a nagging doubt. Was this just a story he told every kind person? The twist came one evening when Sophie found him missing. Desperate, she searched high and low, but Ethan was nowhere to be found. Her heart sank, and she feared the worst. Had he been lying? Was he really just a homeless man? But then, weeks later, something unexpected happened. One rainy evening, Sophie was working late at the cafe when a sleek black car pulled up outside. A tall figure stepped out, his expensive suit and polished shoes gleaming under the streetlights. Her heart skipped a beat. It was Ethan, but he was different now. Clean-shaven, his hair styled, and his entire presence exuding wealth and power. "Ethan, Sophie. I've been looking for you." Sophie couldn't believe her eyes. How could this be? The same man who had sat on the streets was now standing before her, a billionaire once again. His eyes were still those same familiar, captivating blue eyes, but there was something deeper in them now, a sadness, and a rawness that only time and betrayal could leave behind. "Ethan, you saved me when I had nothing. Now let me give you the life you deserve. But there's more. I never stopped loving you. Even when I was hiding, I was thinking of you." Sophie was flooded with emotions. The man she had helped, the man who had opened his heart to her, was the man of her dreams. But now, she had to ask herself, did she love him for who he truly was, or was it because of what he had become? Just as Sophie was starting to accept this new reality, a shocking twist awaited her. Ethan's ex-fiancée, the woman who had betrayed him, reappeared. She was determined to take everything from him again, including Sophie. What followed was a fierce battle, not just for money, but for love, trust, and the truth about Ethan's past. "Ex-fiancée, Rebecca, you really think you can escape your past, Ethan? I'll make sure you lose it all again. Starting with her." The tension escalates as Sophie realizes that Ethan's past isn't just about wealth, it's about power, danger, and manipulation. Will their love survive the lies, the betrayal, and the pressures of a past that refuses to stay buried? In the end, Sophie had to make the ultimate choice. Would she walk away from the man she loved, the man who had lied to her, or would she fight for him, knowing the risks of getting tangled in his complicated world. Sophie stood in the rain, heart racing, as she faced Ethan's ex-fiancée, Rebecca. The woman's words echoed in her mind, each one a reminder of the pain Ethan had endured. But Sophie knew one thing: Ethan had already lost so much, and she wouldn't let anyone take him from her now. "Sophie, you can try to destroy him, but you won't succeed. Ethan's not just about money. He's a man of integrity, of strength. And I love him, despite everything." Rebecca's face twisted in fury, but before she could say another word, Ethan stepped forward, standing tall, his eyes locked on Sophie. "Ethan, Sophie's right. I've learned the hard way that it's not about wealth or power. It's about love and trust. And I trust you, Sophie. I'll never let you go." Rebecca's expression shifted. She realized she had lost, not just in business, but in love too. Ethan was no longer the man she could control. He was his own man, and Sophie was the one who had stood by him when no one else did. "Rebecca, this isn't over, Ethan. You'll regret this." With one final look of disdain, Rebecca walked away, defeated. Ethan turned back to Sophie, his eyes filled with gratitude and something deeper, love. "Ethan, you're everything I've ever wanted, Sophie. I can't imagine my life without you now. Will you marry me?" Tears welled in Sophie's eyes as the weight of his words sank in. She had helped a homeless man, a broken billionaire, and in return, she had found a love more powerful than anything money could buy. "Sophie, yes. Yes, I will." They embraced in the rain, a symbol of their love overcoming all odds, betrayal, pain, and the tests of life. Sophie had found her soulmate in the most unexpected place, and together, they would face whatever the future held, stronger than ever.